Hello everyone, welcome to Finastro Traders channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching this video from. And today is June 2nd, 2019. Monday is going to be a start of a new month of trading. So I already started getting a lot of questions as to when this market is going to recover. It looks like already last month I was getting a question as to when this market was going to come down, and looks like people already got tired of the slow bleed and also the volatility. Okay, and there are a lot of questions came along, as to when this market is going to recover. But before I answer that question, it's important to take a look at what caused this market to come down. So I'm not referring to any of the news out there, the tweets or any of the political events or the trade war and things like that. So I stick with the financial astrology because I believe that everything that you need to know about the markets are right there on those 9 planets, so that I had explained in my prior videos. So here's the chart of SPX daily, so we can see that it's daily. Now, if you look at this, there are no moving averages or anything, in this chart, because I believe that they are not important, when it comes to prediction. You can easily predict the market with about 80-90% accuracy, just by observing those 9 planets, um, so the lines that you see here as marked as 315 degree, 135 degree, right? Those are Gann lines. I already posted a video last week about that. So you can watch that if you haven't already. Okay, and so these are Gann lines basically. So as you can see here, the markets respect those Gann lines pretty well, and that's why I have them. This is a indicator that I developed. Okay, and then also you'll see a two drive, or a harmonic pattern indicator as well, that I got it developed from one of the programmers actually. Okay, so those are the only things that you see on my chart, because that's all you need to know. So as you can see here, you can see the high market high on this chart was marked, okay, on 5/1, that is May 1st. Okay, 29.54.13 was the high for S&P 500 or SPX. Okay, and now everything that's this phenomenal run that we have had for about 5 months or so, that coming off of this low here, you can see that 23.46, that was the low put on, that was established on December 26th. As you can see here, December 26th was the low. Okay, and by the way, we have, this is the another indicator that I have. You can see a purple bar here. That's one of our indicators that you can pick the bottom and the top pretty well. Okay, and it picked bottom pretty well, here very accurately. 1226 is one of the proprietary indicator that I have developed. You can see that this bottom as well. Okay, now so when it's bottom, it's going to give us another signal here, but that's besides the point. So let's take a look at what caused this market to come down. So we know that this high was put on May 1st, right? So let's see if we can find something from an astrological perspective or astronomical perspective. Okay, Western astronomy or Vedic astrology perspective. So here is the chart, or here is the calendar that I usually make it available to my mentees actually. And now this is like every month, I have this calendar prepared from our astrologer, and then make it available for our mentees. So if you look at it, this is April calendar, and you can see this. Let's go back to 20th. We know that May 1st something has happened, right? We need to find out what happened, all right? And 26th April, and I want you to, let me zoom in here, okay? And this area right here. So pay attention to this area right here. Okay, so these are the 9 planets that we need to look at, right? So if you look at it and scroll down, so 26 April 20, 29th, that is a Monday. Okay, so if you look at this area here, I can zoom in here as well. You see Jupiter is highlighted, and also pay attention to this star and then star load. Okay, and if you look at it, Saturn is highlighted on 30th April. Saturn is highlighted. Now, I've asked my astrologer to highlight any important event that is happening in these planets, whether they are changing their direction from direct to retrograde or retrograde to direct, or changing their association with the star and thereby the star lord. Okay, so because these are the events that we need to look at. Um, so the Saturn, if you look at it, Saturn was, so if you go back to that 26, right, you can see degree 266.48 and 266.49. So that is increasing, right? And then 266.49, it's pretty much the same as the previous day, right? This is Tuesday, Monday, same as Monday. Go back to this, May 1st, right? May 1st, you can see that 260 is 48, which means that it's coming down, right? Which means that Saturn has gone into retrograde, and that's why, on April 30th, you see that Saturn is highlighted, which means that April 30th, Saturn got into retrograde. Okay, which means if you're looking from Earth, so you see Saturn going back, and that's why you see, this is reducing in terms of degree. Okay, so retrograde is nothing but it's kind of a perspective looking from Earth. So like for example, if two trains are moving at the same speed and one train slows down, you see that all of a sudden that train is moving backwards, right? So that's the kind of effect. So at certain, because nothing is in our universe, it is circular in motion, and they all have an elliptical degree, so at some point they just kind of appear to be stopping a little bit and then reversing direction, and as they slow down, so because planets, they slow down and speed up, looking from Earth. So Saturn retrograde is that event. So we know that April 30th, Saturn has gone into retrograde. And if you look at May onwards, so you can see that May, it's all highlighted. You can see that Saturn is highlighted, all the way. Now, Jupiter is also in retrograde. The Jupiter got into retrograde long back. Okay, so that is the event that we can correlate, so which means that on April 30th, Saturn got into retrograde, and correspondingly, if you go back to our chart of SPX, we have a high in place. Okay, so the reason I'm saying is that every swing, okay, you tell me any swing, okay, and I can show you a corresponding astronomical or astrological event. Okay, so you pick any swing, high or a low swing on the daily chart. I can point you to any of these swings, so in these last 5 months, or you tell me a day where markets have turned big. Okay, I put in a high or a low swing or a high swing. I can correlate that to an astronomical event. Okay, and even if you give me a date 100 years back, I can show you what exactly has happened. Okay, so instead of watching which politician is going to tweet next and what is going to happen over the weekend, what news is going to come out, and looking at n different magazines and subscriptions and news and articles and earnings and yield curve and inflation, and it's like a drinking water from a fire hose, right? Many traders, that's how it is. So if you are following in news, to me, news is a noise. Okay, you don't need to look at news at all. That's a complete noise and waste of time. Everything that you need to know, okay, about market and predicting the market, okay, is right here. Okay, why? Because these planets and events, so whether they are going in direct to retrograde to direct, or changing their association with the star and thereby star lord, is predictable, because that's pure mathematics. What is not predictable is the news. But I know for sure that if any of these planets changes their association with this lord, okay, or they are changing their sign, or whether direct or retrograde, I know that there is an event or a news that is waiting to come out. Okay, I know for sure that there will be a news or a tweet or any political event or a natural event, and that is going to come out when these 9 planets changes their sign, changes their association with the Lord, or changes their direction. So can this be predicted when the next event is going to come out? Yes. Can you predict when the next tweet is going to come out from our president or from any of the politicians, or when the next news is going to come out, or any part of the world, so the leaders of the nation is going to react? No. But we know that what causes them to react, and that is these planets changing their sign or association with the star or star lord. Okay, and if that happens, we know that there is a news event that is going to come out, and this is applicable for earnings too. You can easily predict the earnings resolution of a stock based on this. So if you are well versed, so this is why my mentorship program is developed around this. So everything that you need to know about the market and market direction and market behavior is right here in this 2 inches by 3 inches of my screen right here. Okay, so everything is right here, and that's all you need to look at. Okay, and I can show you the another example of, if I go back to this, right, go back to that chart. uh, Here you can see December 26th. What is the event that happened? December 26th was the low. And you don't need to look at, there could be some news that you can correlate, but I know that there is a astronomical or astrological event that I can correlate to. Okay, based on uh, the on December 26th, and that caused the market to form the low and then start going up. And what is that? Let's take a look at it. So if I go back to last year calendar, okay, now this is based on Indian timing, but you can see that. So the 24th December, I want you to pay attention to this part again. Okay, this, uh, as I showed right there. Okay, this part right there. So right there. Okay, so if you pay attention to that, let's see what happened. So December 24th, so watch for any highlights here. Okay, Mars, there is a highlight, here. Why? Because Mars changes sign. And then if I advance, remember that December 26th was our low. Okay, December 26th, anything highlighted? No. December 27th, you can see that Jupiter, there is a highlight. What does that mean? Jupiter changed its association with the star low. Okay, and that's what caused the market move in the upward direction, from there onwards. Okay, so you can see easily correlate that to this. So this is why I say that any event, and this high, there is an astronomical event happened. This low, there is an astronomical event happened. This high on 11/7, there is an astronomical event. Every swing on SPX or Dow or Nasdaq or any of the indices or any index anywhere in the world can be correlated to an astronomical event. Okay, so this is what has caused the market to come down. Saturn got into retrograde, okay, on April 30th, and next day we have a swing high and the market started coming down. Now the thing is that any planet, now Saturn has a bearish connotation, so Saturn is naturally bearish, and that has a tendency to push the market down. Okay, and also any planet that gets into retrograde, its effect doubles. Okay, so which means that it becomes double strong. Okay, and that's another reason why this market can get out. Now you want to know when it's going to recover. You can see that my indicator has already painted a two drive pattern, and which is, this zone here is a buy zone, and these are targets here. So it's already painting a target of 28.55 to 28.83, or second target is 29.66 to this GAN level here, 30.21. Okay, is it going to get there? We can look at that by looking at those 9 planets. Okay, so you don't need to look at any news or events. These planets are predictable because can be calculated mathematically. And they don't take a break, guys. They don't take a break like we do. Okay, these planets, they don't say that, hey, for billions of years I have been following this stupid star called Sun, and let me take a break. It doesn't happen. So that's why we can easily calculate and predict when the next astronomical event is going to happen. And we can also say that there is some news is going to come out from somewhere when that event happens. Okay, and that causes the market to take a turn. So it's as simple as that. So everything that you need to know about the market is, as I said, right here on that 2 inch by 3 inch on my screen. Okay, and this is all I look at. And this portion right here I look at for intraday trading. Okay, the moon transit. But for a position trading, or for keeping a swing trade, so, and I use this 9 planets, their motions, and their degrees, their direction, their position in a sign and association with the star. As simple as that. Okay. So especially if you are a swing trader, you need to know whether you want to keep, is it safe to keep your position over the weekend or not, and if you're an option trader, you don't want to pay for theta decay, right? You need to know whether is it safe to keep it over the weekend, whether there is any political event that is going to come out on Sunday, or when the market opens on Monday, whether you're going to have a gap down. How do you know? We can easily predict that from the planetary motion, you know, rather than going through, like millions of documents, articles, and news and events and things like that. We can easily figure that out, so by watching these. So if there is no event, planetary event that is waiting for me over the weekend, I'll keep my position because I know that I can keep safely keep that position over the weekend, and that nothing, no news is going to come out over the weekend. So, so you need to know that now. If you want to know when this market is going to recover, so and contact me, and through email or text me or call me up, and I can give you the details of my mentorship program, and how I make this calendar available to my mentees, and also we go through the market and market direction every single day. Okay, so have fun and just be careful in trading this market, guys. Because we are in a panic here, and big swings are likely. Better safe than sorry. Okay, so take care, and I'll talk to you later.